She is soccer star Megan Rapinoe on equal pay and what the U.S. flag means to her. Like we really care. Oh, look at her. Look at that smug grin. You know she's related to a racist. Covers this in the article. In 2019, Women's World Cup Finals, when the final whistle blew at the U.S. team stormed the field in celebration, thousands of fans chanted, equal pay, equal pay. The U.S. women's national team, co-captained by Megan Rapinoe, has been a symbol of gender equity ever since they filed a lawsuit in March 2019 against the U.S. Soccer Federation alleging pay discrimination, which we all know they lost. Why? Because they put a bogus claim. Or horrible lawyers. One of the two. I didn't read it, so I'm not going to comment too much on it, but they lost. Members of the women's soccer team earn significantly less than their male counterparts. Why? Because they bring in less money. But, we don't want to talk about that because that's just not prudent, and you'll be canceled by the cancel culture because they are roaming the streets right now, spreading the COVID. That's what they're doing. Despite the fact that their team has been more successful and more profitable, the women's team has won 4 World Cup tournaments. The men's team has never won the World Cup. Well, the men's team plays in a real World Cup, where the women's team plays in a manufactured World Cup where they don't have equality throughout the world. So what I'm saying is Brazil, Spain, all these other countries, when they actually decide to put a product on the field, which they could do instantaneously, they would destroy America. And they would be the same as anywhere else because where culture exists, the game exists throughout the world, it's so easy to find talent, but you have to invest in it. So the U.S. doesn't have a pay, an equality issue as far as women opportunity. They have a ton of opportunity in the United States. It's because we are the United States. What we have here is Megan Rapinoe. She needs to cry about something. Always has to cry about something, or she can't have a voice. Her voice is significantly driven by equity, fake equity she creates. I mean, even though she's a millionaire and she lives in a beautiful home, she needs something to complain about, or she won't have these things because that's how it works. She says men are so often paid and compensated on the potential that they show, not necessarily what they've done. Rapinoe says it has nothing to do with they have to pay the men so much money because they actually have to leave their club teams, which pay them a ton of money to come play for the national team. If they got paid less, they would not go and play and compete for the United States and risk injury to threaten their opportunity to play for their club team. They're not going to do it. That's common sense, but we don't have common sense when it comes to Rapinoe. Goes on to say, and women are so often paid on what they've actually done, which normally I would say we outperform what our contract was. Well, congrats. That is being a good team player. It is. You get a contract that you agreed to, and then you outperform, finish your contract, ask for more money. But that's not the world we live in. A federal judge dismissed the claim in May 2020, but the team plans to file an appeal. Well, guess what? You got supposedly Joe Biden may win this election, and I say may because it's not done yet. And he promised to help you. We'll see if he follows his word. And he probably won't because he doesn't get things done, but time will tell. The amount of money that the women team's players could possibly earn in our contract compared to the amount of money that the men could possibly earn in contract is very different. And it's 2 different competitions. When you play in the men's World Cup, it's against the best of the world. When you play in the women's World Cup, it's not. Because if there's not equality throughout the world in opportunity for women. We all know this. But in the U.S. it is. The U.S. has the most talented athletes that they can offer, and they get paid very well compared to everybody else, and they're given opportunity. They simply are, and they have a huge advantage. And they're like, we won the B-level tournament, and we want more money than the men because they haven't won the World Cup. Are you kidding me? I mean, if she's being intellectually dishonest. She's not being honest. It's not the same competition. If it was, Megan Rapinoe wouldn't be still playing. But, you can play when you're 39, 40 years old for the women's national team and compete somehow on a world stage. Can't do that on the men's. Very rarely that happens, but, what are we at? Like 6, 7 players are in their 30s? Whatever. Rapinoe has also been an outspoken advocate for the Black Lives Matter movement. In 2016, she was among the first high-profile white athletes to take a knee during the national anthem in solidarity with Colin Kaepernick. Why? Because she feels bad because her brother's a racist. We all know this because he has a swastika on the side of his neck and is in jail right now. I hope you enjoyed that segment. If you did, please subscribe to get my content 5 days a week.